Good evening. My name is Owen Crum. I'm a senior history and religion double major from Charlotte, North Carolina. This year I am serving as student body president, and on behalf of the student body, it is an honor to welcome you, the class of 2023, to the Hill. At Dennison, we believe in working across difference to honor our democratic principles. The Denison Campus Governance Association is an elected forum that advocates for the student body and strives to create a meaningful community on our campus. In the coming weeks, you will elect your own representatives and join this tradition of student governance. This evening, I'd like to talk briefly about this community and what it means to me, and what I hope it will mean to you. Make no mistake, you are taking a significant step. Community here at Dennison is not a sense of passive membership in an organization. Today, you enter into a trust, and that trust has history. You are not the first students to climb the hill. For 188 years, people have been coming to Dennison to pursue knowledge, advance justice, and live intellectual and spiritual community with others. Today, you become a part of that history. That history begins in 1831, when Baptist scholars from Rhode Island came to the Hill to bring their faith and religious descent as old as New England to the backwoods of the young Ohio state. Just 37 students began the work at the Granville Literary and Theological Institution, and the school they built here soon became a beacon of free thought and vigorous debate on the frontier. In 1845, a wealthy farmer named William S. Dennison made an investment in the growing college equivalent to $300,000 in today's money, and the school changed its name to honor his bold vision of the future. But seminarians who came here were not the only ones who saw the promise of a new institution. Young women, determined to defy the expectations of a society that denied their potential, climbed this hill to claim the opportunity to learn. Escaped enslaved peoples, fleeing the violence of bondage, climbed this hill as they made the perilous journey to freedom. In a country rife with political discord, students risking their lives and reputations climbed the hill to speak out against slavery and defend the Union. The institutions on this hill have never been perfect. Like the country that surrounds them, they often fell short of the high ideals of their founders. But the generations who climbed this hill have seen the promise of those ideals and have worked for nearly 2 centuries to create a community where all who are welcome to pursue lives based on rational choice, a firm belief in human dignity, compassion unlimited by cultural, racial, sexual, religious, or economic barriers, and directed towards an engagement with the central issues of our time. Today, you too have climbed the hill. Today, you become a part of a community with a history of advocating fiercely for what is right. The sense of community we enjoy here is an increasingly rare thing in these fractious and uncertain times. The world today pressures us to live as individuals, to pursue our own interests, to market ourselves as products in a zero-sum competition for the signifiers of success. There are those today who would scoff at the values of this community, who would dismiss our devotion to reason and our dedication to human dignity as quaint or naive. There are voices today that insist that our diversity is a weakness and that our differences are too great to overcome. But here on this hill that so many have climbed before you, we know that is not true. Here at Dennison, we know that there's a strength in diversity, that by bringing together students from throughout the country and around the world, we bring lived experiences into conversation, working across difference, exchanging ideas, and imagining a more inclusive future. Here we do not shy away from debates, we welcome them. Here, we are a society that sees life more than a zero-sum game with winners and losers. Here we pursue knowledge wherever it leads, confident that the exchange of ideas will empower us to be discerning moral agents and autonomous thinkers that our world so urgently needs. Your college career presents you with a clear choice. You can be complacent. You can choose to focus on your own needs and goals and only invest in those around you when it's convenient. You can choose not to care. Or you can buy in. You can care about how we treat each other. You can choose to go the extra step to support a peer, to organize your fellow students to advocate for a worthy cause, or to contribute to the worthy works in Granville, Licking County, and beyond. Being a Denisonian gives you the unique opportunity to build and sustain that kind of community. Our tradition of self-governed student governance is a vital part of this enterprise. This year, we are beginning an effort to boldly rethink how student government works, creating representative institutions that will give students a greater opportunity to contribute to the upbuilding of our campus community. This project will be an expression of Denison's commitment to democratic principles, a practice and a practical exercise in self-government. As the newest members of our community, you will have the unique opportunity to contribute to this new chapter. I look forward to working with each of you as we ask the student body to boldly reimagine what student government can be. Class of 2023, I challenge you to care, to believe in community action and involvement, even here, especially here, at a thriving liberal arts institution with unmatched resources and a remarkable concentration of minds. We can always go further. We can always make a difference. We can engage with the difficult questions that face our community and our society. The educator Cardinal John Henry Newman once wrote, "If a university is a direct preparation for this world, let it be what it professes. It is a place to fit people of the world for the world." Over the next 4 years, I charge you to continue climbing this hill, advancing steadily towards the promise of a better future that has always been the guiding light of this university, and as of today, your new home. So let me say again, welcome, welcome, welcome. You stand on the precipice of a great journey. It is my privilege to be the first to wish you luck as you depart. Thank you. I will now ask Julie Haupt, Vice President of Institutional Advancement and Dennison Alumna, to join me at the podium.
Good evening and welcome to Dennison. As Owen said, I'm Julie Haupt, Vice President for Institutional Advancement and a member of the class of 1975. It's my privilege to welcome you to campus and to the Denison family. We are thrilled that you're here, that you've chosen to come to one of the finest colleges in the country, and we look forward to getting to know you and to supporting you during your 4 years on campus. And by the way, you're not just a member of the Denison family for the next 4 years. You're a member of this family for life. You'll make some of the best friends of your life here. Many of you will marry someone who's sitting right here tonight. You'll be in each other's weddings. Some of those weddings will be in Swayze Chapel. You'll vacation together. You'll celebrate big birthdays, the births of babies, big career achievements. Some of you will go into business together. And you'll run into other Denisonians everywhere, in airports, on the subway, at work, or as I did this summer on the Appalachian Trail. As a member of the class of 2023, you're joining a family that's more than 35,000 strong, a family that ranges in age from 17 to over 100, a family whose members come from all kinds of backgrounds, religious traditions, political persuasions, socioeconomic circumstances, and from all over the world. The Denison family includes alumni as well as parents of current students, parents of alumni, faculty, staff, and neighbors in Granville, Licking County, and Greater Columbus, as well as other friends of the college. This is a wonderful family, and now you're a part of it. Like many families, Dennison has a set of core values, and you'll hear about them over the next few days and throughout your time on campus. I want to talk about two of those this evening: care for the community and expressing gratitude. Caring for the Denison community is part of being a Denisonian. Whether it's putting an arm around a friend who's having a rough day, picking up litter on Chapel Walk, or serving the community through student government, nurturing this community is something we all do. It's just part of our DNA. And we don't just do it while we're on campus. We take care of this community, this family, for the rest of our lives. The Denison family cares for this community by ensuring that you have all the tools and opportunities you need to make the most of your undergraduate experience here. At a time when many colleges and universities are struggling financially, the Denison family has stepped up to provide the financial resources that fund your scholarships, that built the spectacular new Eisner Center for the Performing Arts, and are building Silverstein Hall, our newest senior apartments that will open next fall. The Denison family provides travel funds for students to present original research at academic conferences and for sports teams to participate in major tournaments. Most importantly, through their gifts, the Denison family ensures that Dennison can recruit and retain some of the finest faculty in the country, faculty who are dedicated to teaching and working with undergraduates and who are active in their fields. Through the Knowlton Center for Career Exploration and Development, alumni and parents provide career advice, review resumes, and participate in mock interviews. They provide internships and externships for you in all kinds of companies, from Citigroup to ESPN, to Habitat for Humanity, to the Columbus Museum of Art. When you graduate, they'll welcome you to their cities and help you get connected, whether you're in Shanghai or Boston or Los Angeles or Mumbai. Denisonians recognize that the education they and their children received here was made possible by the Denison family. They are deeply grateful, and they want to ensure that this very special college, this very special home for the liberal arts, exists far into the future and is available to generations of talented, hard-working young people who will go out into the world and make it a better place. Like caring for this community, gratitude is a core Denison value. I hope that over the next 4 years, you'll think from time to time about the people who've made it possible for you to be here: your own family, your teachers and coaches and guidance counselors, and your Denison family, alumni, parents, faculty, staff, and others who support this college in all kinds of ways to make it one of the finest undergraduate institutions in the country. Take a minute to write a thank you note or call to the donor of your scholarship, to the high school coach who encouraged you, to the teacher who saw in you what you didn't see in yourself. And I hope that when you're asked to give back to Dennison in whatever way, you'll do so generously and gratefully. Care for each other and for this community, express gratitude, and have a great year. It's a Denison tradition to have two students serve as representatives of the incoming class. We ask the student whose hometown is nearest to campus and the student whose hometown is furthest from Dennison to represent the class. Tonight, I'm pleased to introduce Shem Kusainov, who lives 1/10 of a mile from campus in Granville, and Benjamin Green, who is from Singapore and who has traveled 9,560 miles to arrive in Granville. This is the banner for the class of 2023. Behind you are the class banners of students who've preceded you over the previous century. You'll see your banner again at your commencement, and then it will join others as part of Denison's historical record. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce to you Professor David Goodwin, who will welcome you on behalf of the faculty.
Good evening. My name is Dave Goodwin. I teach in the Department of Geoscience, and this year I'm the chair of the faculty. It's in that latter role that I'm speaking to you this evening. So on behalf of my faculty colleagues, welcome students to Dennison. We are excited that you're here, and we are looking forward to working with you. First off, to the students, you should be very proud of yourself. The work you have done to earn a place in Denison's class of 2003 is remarkable. To the parents, friends, and family who have helped provide these students with the opportunity to be here, you should be especially proud of yourselves. Raising children is one of the hardest things we'll ever do, and we all want our kids to live rewarded and challenged lives, and Denison is a great place to see them off. Okay, enough about you. Let's talk about me. I'm a paleontologist. When I tell people what I do, they inevitably ask about dinosaurs. One problem, I don't do dinosaurs. I'm quick to tell them I study mollusks. You should just think about clams when I say that. I say, actually, I don't study dinosaurs. I'm a scleral chronologist. Without fail, I get a polite look, and they walk away, I'm sure thinking he's not a very interesting paleontologist. Man, and look out if they have a 7-year-old kid with them. They are the worst. 7-year-old kids know more about dinosaurs than anybody should. Little dinosaur savants, they make me look bad every single time. Folks almost never stick around and say, what is scleral chronology? But ha, you can't leave. The ceremony's not over. You have to wait for us to get off the stage. So what's that? What is scleral chronology? I'm so glad that you asked. Sclero from the Greek for hard or skeleton. Chronology, also from the Greek for the study of time. This is the subfield of paleontology that involves studying and interpreting records of environmental variation archived in the hard parts of modern and fossil organisms. You could think tree rings in aquatic animals, things that live in the water. Okay, so I look out now and I see some of those polite smiles, and you're thinking, how long is this speech? But bear with me. A common question that the faculty get goes something like this. Professor so-and-so, how did you figure out what you wanted to do? You're so passionate about your teaching and your research. When I get this question, I tell my students I had an amazing professor, a guy named Bud Ebbett, who inspired me to pursue a career in geology. He did this in part by sharing his love of geologic time, something I try to share with my own students in the classroom. So, consider the following exercise. Imagine that 1 second, 1 Mississippi, represents a single year. 1 second, 1 year. Got it? Most of you are, 18 or 19 years old? Nod, yes, maybe? Okay, good. Let's say you're 20, just to keep it simple, okay? What I want you to do now is I'm going to have you hold your breath for 20 seconds, all right? Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Wasn't that hard? I like the saxophone in the background too. That was fantastic. It wasn't really that bad to hold your breath for 20 seconds. But those 20 seconds now represent your life. Now parents, most of you are in your 40s, 50s, let's say 60 just because it's easier to time. Okay, ready? 3, 2, I'm kidding. We're never going to get through this speech that way. But you get my point. The reason I like this exercise is because for most students, developing an appreciation of what geologists call deep time is really challenging. We all know what an hour is, an actual hour, or to wait until tomorrow for a package from Amazon. And as we get older, we can appreciate things like a month, or the seasons, or a year. But what about 100 years, or 1,000 years? Owen said a few minutes ago the college was founded in 1831. That's 188 years ago. If each year represented a second, we'd have to hold our breath for more than 3 minutes. To go back 1,000 years, you'd have to hold your breath for 16 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, For context, the world record for holding your breath without hyperventilating on oxygen first is 11 minutes and 35 seconds. So you can see that's probably not possible. You have to sit here for 11 days and 13 hours to go back a measly million years. That's amazing. You have to sit here for 2 weeks almost to get a million years. But that's nothing. Here's one for the 7-year-olds out there. When did the dinosaurs go extinct? Well, we'll teach you this. 65 million years ago. We'd have to sit here not breathing for more than 2 years. But again, that's nothing. Life on Earth began 3.8 billion years ago. That's 120 years of holding your breath in that chair. The sun, our star, just behind the biology building over here, it formed 4.5 billion years ago. That's 144 years of holding your breath. And if you wanted to go to the Big Bang, that's more than 450 years of sitting in that chair. So let's review. Your life is 20 seconds. The college is 3 minutes and change. Dinosaurs are 2 years, and the sun is nearly 150 years. So why am I telling you all of this? It's taken you a lot of effort to get here, both in the parts of you, the students, and your families. But that 20 years it took to get here is a blink of an eye in the life of the sun. So the sun does not care whether you pass your calculus test or you write a good communication paper. But at exactly the same time that the sun doesn't care, there is nothing more important than passing that test or writing a good paper. So who's right, you or the sun? Well, that's why you're here. You get to answer that question. My advice is study for the test. This reminds me of one of my favorite quotes. All speeches like this have quotes in them. F. Scott Fitzgerald in a 1936 essay said, "The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold opposed ideas in the mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function." For me, this exemplifies the kind of nuanced thinking that we're trying to teach students here at Dennison. And while I would never presume to speak for the faculty, I suspect that's why we all are here, whether we're in economics, philosophy, education, or physics. Sharing this kind of thought with our students is our passion. The faculty are here because we want to work with you to develop the habits of mind that will enable you to make sense of a complex world that is rife with contradictory ideas and diverse points of view. Take advantage of us. Like Bud Evett was for me, we are here for you. In closing, I'd like to share a few ideas that have helped me make sense of the world, and I'll offer these in the form of some advice. Nurture a love of learning. Be mindful that the limit of your knowledge is not a constraining verge, but rather a frontier to be explored. Evaluate your intellectual development by what you don't know rather than by what you do know. T.S. Eliot wrote, "No one can become really educated without having pursued a study for which they took no interest. For it is part of education to learn to interest ourselves in the subjects for which we have no aptitude." I think what that means is that you guys should dive into your general education courses. If you're a physics major, take dance. If you study sociology, learn some chemistry. And for everybody, take history classes. If you want to know why we're here, figure out where we've been. I can hear the applause of that history for people over here. That's great. All right. Be engaged in the world. Take an interest in your community and exercise your civic responsibilities. Read more, think more, and be informed. Here's another quote. "What luck for rulers that men don't think." Do you know who said that? Adolf Hitler. Always remember that your education is a bulwark against bad decisions. Challenging times require sharp minds, so step up. Have strong opinions weakly held. In other words, argue like you know you're right, but listen like you might be wrong. And always surround yourself with smart people. If you think you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And keep in mind the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "Let me never fall into the vulgar mistake of dreaming that I am persecuted whenever I am contradicted." Learn from those you disagree with. Don't condemn them. Remember that life is a journey, not a guided tour. College is supposed to be hard. I once heard a student say, "That was a great course, but it was really hard." And I think that the student got it wrong. It was a great course because it was really hard. When you get overwhelmed, and you probably will, keep in mind that things worth doing are hard, and hard things are worth doing. I'm trying to look for my canoe orientation kids out there. They know what I'm talking about. And finally, relax. Take yourself and your time at Denison seriously, but not too seriously. I grew up in the same hometown as Wilson Bentley, who was better known as Snowflake Bentley. He pioneered the art of photographing snowflakes and famously argued that no two were identical. Like Bentley snowflakes, we are all unique. The problem is that with 7.7 billion people on the planet, we are living in a blizzard. So, that's all I've got. But remember that time flies. You're going to graduate in 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. So let's get to work. Thank you very much. Haik-Young Lee of Denison's Department of Music has composed a very special piece of music to mark this occasion. The fanfare from the class of 2003, for the class of 2003, will be performed tonight and then again upon your graduation in 2023. Yeah, that's right. I got the, you're right. Okay. It is now my pleasure to introduce Denison University's 20th president, Dr. Adam Weinberg.
Thank you, Owen, Julie, and Professor Goodwin. Can we give them one more round of applause? I do want to put one footnote on a comment that Julie made when she talked about you getting married to each other. That is not part of the Denison experience, and that should happen post-graduation. Welcome to Denison, welcome to Granville, and welcome to college. Welcome the great Denison class of 2023. You are now Denisonians. As I start my 7th year at Denison, I'm keenly aware of how much I've fallen in love with this college. I'm excited for you. I want you to have a great 4 years, But more important, I want you to have a 4-year experience that helps you develop your own agency and autonomy to become the architect of your own life. The power of a Denison education will happen over the next 4 years as you become highly engaged in the academic experience, focused on 1 or 2 co-curriculars, and surround yourself by peers, faculty, and staff who challenge you in different ways. Let me put some context around this. There's 4,000 colleges and universities in the United States. Private residential liberal arts colleges occupy a unique place in the higher education landscape. It starts with a total focus on undergraduate education. The faculty who sit over here are not only among the best scholars and teachers in the world, they are also fully focused on you. You don't share them with graduate programs or medical centers. Their sole focus is on providing students with an undergraduate education, but not just any education. We immerse students in a challenging, engaging, and broad-based education that helps you develop a set of attributes that will allow you to think critically, understand profoundly, and connect broadly. We want you to learn to write and communicate, to work with numbers and data, to weave disparate ideas into new ways of thinking, to frame questions, solve problems, and connect with a broad range of people and ideas. But as worthy as those abilities are, the true power of a liberal arts education is much deeper. Over the next 4 years, we want to help you create a way of being in the world. Liberal arts students experience the beauty and the meaning of intellectual pursuits, rigorous scholarship and sharp thinking, the thrill of knowledge for its own sake, and the impact of learning when standards are high and classmates are engaged with the course material and each other. And of course, this type of learning at places like Dennison extends across the campus. We require you to live on campus because we believe campus life deepens liberal arts learning. Athletics, residential halls, the arts, campus organizations, and other co-curricular activities will serve as a design studio to further develop and practice your liberal arts skills, values, and habits. We also believe there's something powerful about living with high-achieving peers who are committed to the liberal arts, who want to do well in life, and who bring a wide range of views, perspectives, and life experiences to campus. Students at Denison challenge and learn from each other. And lastly, liberal arts colleges differ from many other forms of education in that we purposefully strike a balance between the individual and the community. We want to provide you with the skills, the values, the habits, the networks, and the experiences to succeed in life, however you define that. But we also seek to instill within our students a sense that you should strive to do this in ways that contributes to things beyond yourself. So, here's my advice on how to give the gift you've given yourself, a Denison education, to become the architect of your life. First, devote your time at Denison over the next 4 years to 4 primary activities. Make the academic courses the centerpiece of your college experience. Nothing is more important. Academics are why colleges exist. The liberal arts can strengthen and open up your mind and imagination in powerful and life-transforming ways, but only if you take advantage of the opportunity to deeply immerse yourself in the academics. This means taking a wide range of classes, but it also means prioritizing your academic work. Our classes are small, and we use active pedagogies. But our classrooms only work if students come fully prepared to be engaged. At large colleges, with lecture classes, participation may be optional, not at Denison. At Denison, the quality of the academic experience is shaped by the faculty, but also by the commitment and the engagement of every student in every class. But let me put a huge footnote on this priority. By making your academic courses the centerpiece of your college experience, what comes first? I'm not arguing that you should put grades first, but rather I'm arguing that you should take a wide range of challenging classes and get the most from each of them. Find the power and the joy in the books you read, the papers you write, the arguments you have in class, and the conversations you have with faculty inside and outside the classroom. Second, get involved in co-curricular activities, but don't get overly involved. Denison students are doers. That's a Denison tradition. And much of the learning that will happen for you will happen from co-curricular involvements. But the goal is not to do many things, but to learn to do a small number of things well. Value depth, commitment, and excellence. Avoid busyness for the sake of busyness. The learning and the fun from the co-curriculars comes from being committed and working with others to win games, put on performances, improve campus, and so forth. Third, savor the intellectual and the cultural events. This campus is filled with extraordinary intellectual and cultural events. It's filled with lectures and plays and concerts and art openings and panel conversations. Don't lose sight of this amazing part of college life. The intellectual and cultural experiences will expand your mind, imagination, and worldviews. Attend a Vail concert. Check out performances in the new Eisner Center, and/or attend lectures and events that expose you to new perspectives. Savor the plethora of unique opportunities to be exposed to people, ideas, and artistic expressions that provide ways of seeing the world or some part of it in an entirely new and different way. And finally, focus on career exploration, especially between semesters. Denison should help you develop ideas for the kind of life you want to live, an understanding for how careers allow people to build those lives, and should help you begin to acquire the skills, the values, the habits, the networks, and the experiences to successfully get started post-graduation. Use the academic courses, the co-curriculars, and campus events to examine unfamiliar topics that help you identify and explore interests and passions, both those you've brought to Denison and those you will find here. And also, use part of your time at Denison to engage with the Knowlton Center. Do it early, do it often. The Knowlton Center will help you focus on career-related programs, connect with alumni, and have experiences that will enhance your career exploration, preparation, and launching. But the best part of the Knowlton Center is it allows you to major in anything you want. Take the courses that interest you and that challenge you, while allowing the Knowlton Center to help you take what you've learned and translate it into an internship or your first job. Your ability to do these four things will greatly be enhanced if you also do the following. Seek out faculty and staff who will challenge you. Our faculty and staff care about our students and they want to see you excel. As such, they're going to provoke, inspire, and demand as a way to lead you in a process of self-discovery, personal growth, and learning. Our faculty are not always going to tell you what you want to hear or give you what you want. Faculty and staff will purposely push you to develop attributes that will help you develop the agency and autonomy to thrive both in college and beyond. This won't always be easy, but it will always be purposeful and powerful. We believe that our students are outstanding and have incredible potential, and our faculty and staff are here to challenge you to that potential. Next, develop a wide set of friendships, especially with people who are different from you. Friendships run deep at Denison. It's a Denison tradition. But Denison works best when students seek out and form friendships with people who have a wide range of life experiences and worldviews. This means proactively seeking out peers in residential halls, classrooms, and other campus venues who see and live in the world differently than you. The wider the network of your friends, the more you'll learn from your peers. So I'm going to ask each of you to do two things. The first is, during your first month at Denison, figure out who in your residential halls has life experiences most different from your own and find a way to form a friendship with them. The second, make yourself a promise that when you're in a classroom and somebody says something that you find so deeply offensive you can't believe they said it, take them out for coffee and have a conversation with them. Third, develop good life habits. Liberal arts colleges are designed to develop the whole person. Life habits are crucial, especially allocating time for sleep, committing to nutrition and exercise, and avoiding the traps of technology by putting down our phones, unplugging from social media, and spending more time face-to-face with friends. We're also going to talk a lot this year about emotional agility, which refers to a mindset that gives people the resiliency, the perseverance, and the tools to transform challenge into success. Take advantage of these programs that we're going to be running this year. And lastly, use your time at Dennison to learn to fail forward. Part of a transformative college experience that prepares you for life is learning to see and use stumbles and failures as part of the process of self-discovery, personal development, and eventual achievement. Everything is not going to go well at Denison all the time. And when things don't go well, avoid the temptation of getting on social media and believing that everybody else is succeeding at every aspect of their life while you're not. I guarantee you it's not true. College is about growing as a person. This happens as you challenge yourself at a high level and in new ways. Failing is normal, it's healthy, and it's a positive part of doing this well. When things don't go well, follow the advice above. Seek faculty and staff who can help you learn from the experience. Participate in some of the programs we're offering across campus on developing good life habits. Be with your peers, but most of all, more important than anything else, try again. And lastly, I'm going to ask a favor of your class that Owen alluded to. As you're doing all this, help us create and recreate a strong community at Dennison. We depend upon members of our community understanding, appreciating, enjoying, and respecting the differences that are a huge strength of Denison's, while also seeing beyond the differences to find the connections that create a campus community of Denisonians. You are all now Denisonians. Be excited to connect with and to learn from each other, but most of all, treat each other with respect and kindness as members of a single community. Connect with others who might be struggling, express yourself in ways that are mindful of how others might hear you. Cultural competency and appreciation for cultural, political, intellectual, and other forms of pluralism are core to your Denison education and to preparing for life after Denison. College is not a spectator sport. The college experience you will have will be the one you will create. Your time here will not always be easy. You're going to have to balance challenging classes, time-consuming co-curriculars, and lots of relationships with peers. There are going to be lots of fun moments, and you will develop deep friendships that for many of you will turn out to be some of the most meaningful and important friendships you have for the rest of your life. But also remember that much of the self-discovery, the personal growth, and the learning comes from the stuff that doesn't go as planned, especially the missteps, the struggles, and the failures. So lastly, a plea. When you see me around campus and I ask how things are going, it's not a rhetorical question. Stop, talk to me, let me know what's going on. I want to know. I'm excited to welcome you to Dennison. I'm excited to get to know you. I'm excited to be part of your journey over the next 4 years. Thank you. I want to invite Dr. Laurel Kennedy, Vice President for Student Development, and Dr. Kathy Dollard, Associate Provost, to join me for the formal induction of the class of 2023. Can I ask all of our students to rise? It is my honor to formally induct you, the class of 2023. May you cultivate habits of the mind, share in our commitment to community, and embrace the values of our mission statement as autonomous thinkers, discerning moral agents, and active citizens of a democratic society. Welcome to Dennison. Welcome to what I believe is the finest college in this country. Congratulations. Can we give them a round of applause? You can sit. So every college has its own song, its alma mater, and Dennison is no different. So to help you learn ours, which we call To Dennison, the members of our August orientation staff are going to sing the first verse, and we will rise and join the group as they sing it the second time. The words are printed on the back of your program. Following the singing of the alma mater, we're going to ask the audience to be seated while members of the platform party and the faculty recess. At 8 o'clock, our newest Denisonians will need to meet their August orientation leaders right here on the Reshackleford Common to get ready and to really start the busy week in front of us. So parents and family members, we will ask you to say goodbye to your students as we conclude. We wish you as safe and happy travels as you return home. And my remarks say, please remember President Weinberg, you have an awful voice. Get away from the microphone while everybody gets ready to sing. So I'm going to do that. Our August staff?
Dennison, my Denison, in praise our voices swell, the sea